Okay, so we're on problem number one. It's a factoring problem. They want me to factor it, and the problem is x squared minus x minus 6. Now we have 100 problems to do. My recommendation is to, look at a variety of different methods and see which one you like. I'm a big fan of trial and error, and if I were looking at this one, I would say, probably I wouldn't spend much time on it because there's really very little choice in the factorization, if it does factor, by the way. Now what I mean by this is x times x is the only choice if I'm using simple concepts to get a multiplication. X times x is x squared. Now if you look on the n minus 6, certainly there's choices there. It could be 2 and 3, could be 6 and 1, could be something even more bizarre than that. But the bottom, I'm looking at it, and I'm going to try 2 and 3. Now if I do that, I do get the x squared, I do get the 6. I'm going to start looking at signs now. The product has to be negative, but the internal sum is also negative. So I'm going to say this over here. Now this is what's known as trial and error. Now trial and error means you're going to try it, see if it works. Well, x times x is x squared. Then you get minus 3x. You get 2x. And then you get minus 6. I'm using the distributive property multiplication to get that. What does that give you? X squared minus x minus 6. It's the same thing we have over here. So the factorization of x squared minus x minus 6 equals x plus 2 times x minus 3. All right? So I'm going to say that's done. I want to just go through one other method for you. Another method is called an AC method. And the AC method, a lot of students like it. Let me write down for you. What we do is a quadratic equation of this form. We take the A and we multiply it by the C. So we call it the AC method, A times C. Now we get a number there, and once we get a number there, we want to find two numbers that give us that number, and we want to find two numbers, the same two numbers by the way, that when added together will give you the B. So let's take a look at this example up here. It's x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, in this problem over here, the A is 1, and the B is minus 6. So what do? I do A, which is 1, times the B. I'm sorry, made a mistake there in speaking. It's not, the B is not minus 6, it's a C. So A times C, that's minus 6, that's minus 6. So I need to find two numbers, that multiply by minus 6, and they sum to the B. What's the B going to be? Minus 1. All right? So let me write this over here. The B is minus 1. So I need to find two numbers now that multiply to 6 and add to minus 1. Well, it's not so bad. It looks like minus 3 and a 2. Let me rewrite this as x squared minus x minus 6. I can rewrite that as x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. Same meaning, by the way. Or you could write it as x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6. All right? So let me look at each one separately. And let me look at this first one over here, the x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. And I'm going to factor by grouping. I take the first two terms and the last two terms, and I'm going to factor it out. What do you get over here? The first two terms, I factor an x out. That gives me x minus 3. The second two terms, I factor a 2 out. And what do you get there? X minus 3. What do I notice? I had 4 terms, now I have 2 terms. What's common factor there? X minus 3. What's left over? X plus 2. Are we getting the same thing we got up here? We are. We're getting x plus 2, x minus 3. All right? Let's do the other one. And the other one was x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6. Different order though, isn't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to factor the first two terms, pull an x out. That gives me x plus 2. I notice there's a minus sign, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to say minus 3 times x plus 2. Let me just check that. That does give me minus 3x, and it does give me minus 6. What's common between those two terms? X plus 2. What's left over? X minus 3. Are we getting the same thing? Every single time we're getting the same exact thing. All right? Now, what's my preferred method? Trial and error. All right? AC rule for a lot of students, though, is the go-to method. Thank you.